Welcome to Cimientos 2021. Cimientos is a play development program that has given hundreds of playwrights the foundation to explore their vanguardia through developmental workshop panels and stage readings. For our 21st season, and due to current worldwide health concerns, we're hosting these readings over the Zoom platform with live streaming on Facebook. My name is Guillermo Severiche, and I'm the literary manager at Yati Theater, and I'm co-hosting today's reading with Winston Esteves. Hola Winston, ¿cómo estás? How are you?
Hey, Guillermo. I'm good. Super excited to be here. And I'll be with you all in this chat section. So feel free to send some love and questions, of course.
Thank you, Winston. And everyone on Facebook, hello everyone. And make sure to share your love, share some comments, questions, anything that's in your mind. That'll be extremely helpful for the entire team today. So thank you, Winston. Today's play is The Prodigal Daughter, written by Adong Judith from Uganda. And she's here with us. Hi, Adong, how are you?
I'm here. I'm very excited to be here. I'm a little nervous that my internet might cut me out, but I'm happy to be here. And I can't wait to share this play with everyone who has honored me with their presence. Thank you.
Well, we're very, very happy that you are with us. So how do you feel about today's reading?
Excited, really, really excited and proud of what I, the director, the actors, and Yati Theaters put together, and I can't wait to share it with the audience.
Perfect. Well, we're very happy and excited to see this play on the screen. So thank you for being with us today, and we'll be here. Fingers crossed that everything with your Wi-Fi works well, and we'll make sure that your play shines today. So thank you, Adong.
Thank you.
The director of today's reading is Raz Golden, and today's actors are Patrice Johnson, Brian D. Coates, Eva McCoy, Charles J. Oda, Cara Player, and Kevis Hillocks. They all will be joining us for the Q&A at the end of the reading. Before we begin, let me remind everyone that you can post a comment with your questions on Facebook at any time during the reading. If you are on Zoom, you can use the Q&A option. Your questions and comments are more than welcome. Finally, Yati Theater is a non-profit organization and every actor is being compensated for their work tonight. If you want to support our theater, please visit www.yatitheater.org/donate. We can't stress enough how much your contributions of any amount help us maintain these programs, but also will be a tremendous support during these times of uncertainty. So, without further ado, welcome to Cimientos 2021.
A world-class furnished suburban living room in Kampala City, high-class art decor from different parts of the world gives the room an elegant look and feel. A posh spiral stairway upstage center leads upstairs. A strip of red carpet flows down the stairway. Furnishings have been moved around to create space. A huge, classy dining table stands stage right. The room is decorated for a celebration. The party ornaments should spread up the main house, making the audience part of the guests. Hang the words, "Congratulations, Kato Moses Kisekka," upon completing your medical surgery degree, and welcome back home. We celebrate you on the wall. The M in home is visibly missing. A plump, giant, dressed up woman in her early 50s, Nnalongo, descends the stairway, carrying a female mannequin and holds a remote and mobile phone in her left hand. A 14-year-old hipster young lady, Titi, aka Titi, right behind her carrying a male mannequin, dressed up in a tasteful suit and a bunch of sophisticated flowers. Titi heads to the high table and carefully places the mannequin center right of the sofa, leaving on the left a meticulously calculated space aimed to fit 2 people. Nnalongo's phone starts to ring. Nnalongo receives it as she makes her way toward the stairway.
No, no, no. Is there anything that is a yes? You tell me. Have you done anything for me that I like? You tell me. Have you done anything for me that I like? I want everything to be perfect. Well, I am the mother of a doctor now, so that comes with expectations. Did you just sigh at me? Oh, I thought so. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Bye.
She puts her phone away.
Kapuli Titi. I hope to God you didn't crease that chair. And where have you put the flowers? Well, come on. I hope to God you didn't get pollen on Kato's suit.
Mom, I hear Kato.
When will you ever take anything seriously, Kabuli Titi?
When the real Kato arrives, I guess.
Nnalongo turns on music that sounds more like a wedding march tune. A mature man's voice, Uncle Chiwanaku, aka Uncle Kiwa, mid-50s, calls out from up beyond the staircase.
Nnalongo, I thought we agreed we are not using the wedding music.
Slip of the hand.
She turns on another song, more of a political function-like marching tune.
3, 2, and down. I don't see you come down, Uncle Kiwa.
I didn't hear one.
And you didn't hear and down?
There is a reason why the person who invented counting down invented it from 3 to 1, Nnalongo.
And there is a reason why God created common sense. But by all means, let's count down to 1. 3, 2, and 1.
Uncle Kiwa, dressed in a regular pair of trousers and shirt, strides down the red carpet stairway in a theatrics rehearsed manner. Nnalongo turns off the music. Uncle Kiwa halts.
What did I do wrong now?
Your hand.
What's wrong with my hand? Is it over peeping out, under peeping, not peeping out at all?
Ha, ha, ha. I am laughing my ribs out.
And I'm crying my heart out here. I have to leave for the airport in a few minutes.
Come on, Uncle Chiwanika. We talked about this already. Imagine you are holding his hand. This is no ordinary walk. You can't afford to walk like every Semitego, Mpima, and Kapere. Forgive me if I want everything to be perfect.
But if he isn't here, why would I be holding his hand?
That's why they call it rehearsal, stupid.
What?
I said they say practice makes perfect. Who am I to argue with scholars? Let's save time. Didn't you say you have to leave for the airport?
It's not me who said it. You decided it was my patriarchal duty to pick up my son from the airport.
And for some reason you sound like I was wrong. Come on, chop chop! Back to first position.
Can I ask you a question?
No. Wait!
Uncle Kiwa freezes in position.
Let's solve the problem once and for all.
Nnalongo carefully puts down the remote and mannequin like it is the Mona Lisa painting. She makes her way to the high table sofa, unplugs the left hand of the male mannequin, and turns back with it. Nnalongo presents Uncle Kiwa with the mannequin's hand.
No.
Yes.
No.
This way you don't have to put your hand position wrong and we can all get out of here. And for some reason you think that doesn't apply to you?
Oh,
See? Every reasonable show needs a great director.
I thought this was a party.
absolutely wonderful. And I join you. And you, Kato, and I sit.
Uncle Chiwa sits left of Kato's mannequin, leaving space between him and the mannequin. Nnalongo puts the mannequin in her hand in position and Kato's right-hand side. She steps back and checks it out. She signals Titi, who walks towards Kato's mannequin, bows and presents him with the flower, bows and walks toward the right-hand side of Nnalongo's mannequin.
No. How do you forget this even with a clear open spot next to your uncle? Kapuli, Titi.
They say too much of anything is bad, and Lord knows we've had more than too much practice.
Which commoner said that? They obviously don't know anything. And you should be ashamed of yourself giving a bad example. And you, what do you know? You're only a kid.
But Mom, I've mastered the most important part.
And which part would that be?
The flower presentation.
All parts are important. Now back to first position. Back to position 1. When you become the mother of a doctor, if you ever become one, you will have the chance to put your great ideas to use. For now, the mother of Musawo is in charge.
What? Am I also back to first position?
Perfection. Lion Clan perfection.
Uncle Chiwa takes his initial position. Nnalongo turns on the music and counts down from 3. Uncle Chiwa takes his walk down the red carpet and assumes his position. Titi takes her walk, presents the flower to the young man's mannequin, and assumes her spot next to Uncle Chiwa.
Nice. See what the body can achieve when the mind is put to it. Not so fast. So, we take our seats. Good. And then all the blah, 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 blah happens. And then you, Uncle Chiwa, are invited to give your speech. You take the stand. And then you, Uncle Chiwa, take the stand.
Oh, am I supposed to take the stand now?
And Uncle Chiwa gives his speech.
Education is the most important investment in today's world, and I mean education of our children, of course, not the current popular let them all study education that has seen old wasted men like me go back to school. In the past, farming was the most important thing, but today, even to make a good farmer, you must have had some kind of education because of all the modernization coming in. Now, we speak of genetically modified foods and modern things like that. For those of us who didn't have good education, like Mzee Kayongo over there, and me, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
What if Mzee Kayongo doesn't come?
Where there is free food and drink, Mzee Kayongo will be found.
Don't tell me, first position, right?
You two think you really have me all figured out, no? Uncle Chiwa, could you please continue with your speech?
Are you sure?
Yes. See, I can be pretty unpredictable too. Uncle Chiwa.
Can I please leave so I don't slow Uncle Chiwa down? I can't promise I won't interrupt, and then either we go back to first position or not, or we just continue. But either way, we waste more time since we would have already paused.
Then you should stay and learn how not to interrupt.
Mom.
What if you forget and interrupt during the function? You are not going to embarrass me. No one will embarrass me today.
Can we please move it along here?
Right.
I've already learned all the important reactions you taught me, Mom. You said yourself, I'm a natural actress.
Careful with the mannequins.
I promise I won't interrupt. I know being cheeky only punishes me and everybody else, except for the one it should punish the most.
You think so?
And we are still being cheeky, huh?
Mom,
You should learn how to know your place. A woman does well knowing her place. In any case, I still need you here anyway so we can do something. If I let you go now, I might forget forever.
my teacher says if you can forget it, it's not important.
Here, here. Your teacher shouldn't be a teacher if he doesn't know memory ages with age.
Why don't you tell me what it is now, then I go? That way you don't worry about forgetting.
No, not now.
But Mom,
Kabuli Titi, don't be a big child.
what's wrong with Uncle Chiwa?
Nothing is wrong with Uncle Chiwa. I'm just saying, let's not keep him waiting.
Fine.
I hope you are not waiting for me to tell you to continue with the speech, Uncle Chiwanaka.
I was hoping you would say, Uncle Chiwa, let's save time and have you hurry off to the airport. Don't worry, Kabalu Titi. Your mother has just had a secret to tell you she doesn't want me to know.
Oh,
They say if you want something that bad, it will come to you. Well, I say they, whoever they are, lied. When you want something that bad, you have to work for it. You have to work hard for it. Then it will come to you because you have earned it. And the person we are celebrating today, my son Kato, is living proof of that, just like his late father. My brother Kalema always worked hard when he wanted something. It is because of this value in him that I sacrificed my studies so he may go farther on the family's limited resources. So sadly, I am a senior leaver, but my sacrifice was worth it, as we all know. Kalema always wanted to be rich, and it is no secret that he worked hard, so wealth came to him. But my brother Kalema also combined hard work with integrity. When working as a cleaner at Africana Hotel, posh hotel for rich people, Kalema found money one of the rich hotel guests had lost. And he gave it back to the guests when he came back looking for it. And for that, he was rewarded with 4 million Ugandan shillings, which he managed to multiply into a multiple billion series of businesses. Now, we all know 4 million Uganda shillings is not really a great deal of money. It's probably money that the Queen of England wipes her behind with. Yes, I'm sure the Queen of England would wipe her behind with 1,000 pounds. But when you do good work and have integrity, your talents will multiply 100-fold. It is because of my brother Kalema's hard work and integrity that today we are celebrating the biggest achievement in the village, a degree in medical surgery from the Queen's land itself, Oxford University. There is no greater success in life than a parent's success in educating their children. A parent's honor and pride come from knowing that they did a good job raising their child. A parent's honor and pride come from their child's success. A parent's honor and pride.
Wait. Something about that sentence is off. I would say maybe not off, but rather something missing.
With the party today, I don't think we can add something new. I mean, I don't think there is enough time for me to get it.
Uncle Chiwanika, we all know you didn't study much, as you just said in your speech. But what is one more phrase or word?
One more phrase or word is nothing if they are phrases and words of your own. You wrote this speech and I had to cram it. Remember? It's different when the phrases or words come from the speaker.
Indeed. You didn't study much, Uncle Chiwanika. That just proved it for anyone who had doubts. Do you think Museveni's speech come from within him? No! They are all just written for him. All the world's great speakers have their speeches written for them, and that includes Barack Obama, the Queen of England, Martin Luther King. Well, maybe not Martin Luther King.
Fine. What is the missing phrase or word?
I think it's just a word. Happiness.
The word happiness?
I think the sentence should read, a parent's honor and pride come from their child's success and happiness.
You stopped my speech for one little word.
Perfection is in the details, Uncle Chiwanika.
Can I ask you a question?
No. But, Uncle Chiwanika, I don't understand what your problem is because I'm giving you a huge privilege here and I don't see any gratitude.
A huge privilege?
Yes!
What huge privilege, if I may ask?
I'm giving you the opportunity to get to be a father of a successful child. That is privilege. We all know what kind of kids your children are, even though none of them is a kid anymore.
Really? What kind of kids are they?
Uncle Chiwanika, if you are not the father of a doctor today, you will never really be the father of anything. Your wife, Nambi, always says she comes here to help me make school snacks so she can live the life of a high-achieving kids vicariously through me. I mean, we both know I could do the speech myself, but I choose to honor your brother's memory and give you the privilege to represent the Kisekka family.
Then why don't you not give me any privileges and do the speech yourself?
Uncle Chiwa grabs Kato's mannequin hand and dumps it in Nnalongo's hand.
Here's your privilege. Consider it returned to center.
Wait, what? Come on, Uncle Chiwanika, don't be such a baby. You, and you, Kabuli Titi, either you go dress up or I drag you right back here with your long horns. Come on, Uncle Chiwa. Come on, Mulamu. Okay, I am sorry. Don't do this for me. Do it for your son.
Which of my nothing sons?
I'm sorry.
Mm.
I shouldn't have said that. It's important that Kato has a father at his party, and with your brother gone, may his soul rest in peace, you're the best uncle they've got as a father.
I will do it. But for now, I'm going to the airport.
But this speech is fabulous. I have done good, just fantastic.
You have done good.
Well, of course. Do you think it is easy to turn an average actor into an A-lister? To turn a slow person into an orator?
You really can't help yourself, can you?
What?
Huh. Keys? What?
Don't tell me you are going to the airport like that.
Please, don't start.
I am not just starting.
I told you I'll do anything for you today except change this
I
early.
meant for rehearsals only. I didn't think you would actually even consider going to the airport in this.
Uncle Chiwa is defeated. He retreats and sits on the sofa.
Fine. But just know, I don't like this one bit.
She digs deep into her bra and draws out a bunch of keys and gives it to Uncle Chiwa. Uncle Chiwa receives it quietly, gives a heavy sigh of relief, and exits. Titi makes a run for it.
Not so fast, young woman.
What now, Mom?
You still have a lot to learn. When you're done mocking me...
Oh, is this the time you tell me the secret?
What?
The secret Uncle Chiwa mentioned.
Put those mannequins away and help me set the table.
And the secret?
Put the mannequins away and help me set up the table.
Isn't the table set up yet?
I mean the dining table with food. Yes, we must eat some before the guests arrives, so we don't end up coming off like gluttons, heaping our plates before the guests.
Yes, it's a class thing, like you see Mzungu do, taking just a little something on napkins.
Exactly. Glad to see the lessons are still hidden somewhere within the hipster facade.
Facade.
I heard that annoying side the thing you do.
And who did I learn that one from?
I heard that too.
Titi accidentally drops a mannequin.
Careful now! Those mannequins weren't a donation from the Obama Foundation, you know.
I don't think the Obama Foundation would donate mannequins.
Well, they cost a lot of bucks. The Obama Foundation probably wouldn't afford it. In fact, leave them there for now. They cost so much we may as well continue using them.
But we're not really using them. They're just sitting here.
Well, you young people think sitting still is doing nothing. Nowadays, we moved mountains just with a stare.
That's called passive aggression now, Mom.
A lot of normal things now have some abnormal concerns around them. That's your world, not mine. In my world, if it worked, it worked.
They start to set up the dining table with a variety of modern-day cuisines. They move back and forth from living room to kitchen, varying the dishes organically, alternating so that when Nnalongo is in the living room, Titi is in the kitchen, and vice versa, until finally they come face to face at the dining table, done with varying the dishes. Sounds of children playing without, and a few occasional adult voices checking while the MC tests the sound. We only hear the voice and occasional celebratory music sound test on and off.
Looks like people have started arriving.
Titi moves to the window and looks out.
Just children.
Of course. Parents of today, they can't wait to get rid of their children.
Titi returns to the table.
Listen, there is something I couldn't tell you when Uncle Kiwa was around. It's the reason I wanted you to stay around.
Okay.
Why do you always expect the worst from me?
I didn't say anything, Mom.
Anyway, you know that this really is your family party, right? Our family party, right?
Yes.
And by our family, I mean me, you, and Kato. Uncle Kiwa is just really here because if we didn't involve him, the village would talk.
Okay.
I'm serious here.
I'm serious here too, Mom.
We all know every time you do your okay, you are not taking anything seriously.
But I'm being serious, Mom. It's my listening okay.
Oh, well, not all lessons stick right away. Some need to marinate to sink in. I will just do my motherly duty.
Right.
Nnalongo checks out the spoon Titi just set.
That spoon isn't straight enough.
Titi checks it out.
See? It's not in alignment with the rest.
No, it's not.
Don't for a moment think that your Uncle Kiwa or his wife or any of these people are happy for us.
They're not?
No, they are not. So, it's mine and your duty to make sure we are safe, but even more importantly, to make sure that Kato is safe.
I don't understand.
We have to be very alert. People sometimes have bad hearts, very bad hearts. For instance, they could decide to poison Kato because they don't have a doctor son, or poison me because they will never be mothers of doctors, or even poison you because you have a doctor brother.
They hear a change of music from without. A kid's voice shouts, "Let's dance, Pakachini." "Fine, but only one dance and you leave me to do my work. We shall dance later, Pakalats." Loud music and sound of children having fun dancing emits from without.
What is that? I'll go put a stop to it right away.
The kids will be disappointed.
So we should suffer in our own home because the children will be disappointed?
The MC only said one dance.
Fine. Children of Bagaga, spoiled brats.
So, how do I know that someone's going to poison me?
You don't. So, no eating any food brought to us as gifts. In fact, no eating food even given you by anyone if the food is ours. You want food? Serve yourself. We will make sure your brother doesn't eat anyhow too.
Okay. But how do I make sure of that?
Use your brain. Isn't that why God gave it to you? You are on the extreme right end to take care of all relatives who will come from that direction, and I take care of all those coming from the left.
Okay.
And no shaking hands. Some poisons come in handshakes.
But how do I avoid a hand when someone holds it out, Mom?
You find a way. Act distracted, confused or something. Didn't I tell you you are a natural performer?
Mom!
If you can't act, then make sure you are carrying something in your hands all the time. This is no joke.
Okay.
Nnalongo steps back and scrutinizes the table. She reorganizes one of the napkins, scrutinizes again, and then exits to the kitchen. Titi waits for Nnalongo to disappear and imitates her. She steps back and scrutinizes the table, then nods in approval. Nnalongo returns with a final finishing to the table set, something only Nnalongo would add. She steps back, scrutinizes the table again, and nods in approval.
Now I'm off to change. Maybe you should also go to change from that, whatever that thing you are wearing is.
But it's too early to change.
Remember, I haven't seen this dress you designed by yourself. I might as well see it now when there's still time to buy you something else in case...
But Mom...
If you think I won't see your dress till the guests are here, then you are very mistaken. I have been lenient enough as it is, allowing your crazy idea to design your own party dress for such an important function. So either you go change or stay here and continue to rehearse your reactions to Uncle Kiwa's speech, young woman.
I'll go change.
She rushes off without looking back. Nnalongo sneers after her. She majestically follows Titi upstairs. Lights out. The arrival, late afternoon. Nnalongo descends the stairs dressed in the latest, most expensive, traditional full gomesi. Hollywood red carpet has nothing on her. She checks to make sure everything is still in place. Satisfied.
Kabuli Titi! Kabuli Titi! Get here fast before I come and drag you by the tail of your designer dress!
Titi excitedly descends the stairway and poses midway.
Isn't my red carpet posture just fantastic-delicious?
Well. I like how you took the gomesi elegant look, but used velvet print and those added sexy cuts.
Huh? Huh?
The best of African and mzungu in an extraordinary design. I like how you think. Not like Nollywood. At a time the world is moving forward, Nigerians are taking us backward. African kings in animal skins in the 21st century. Even kings and queens must move with fashion. I mean, do you see Queen Elizabeth II dressed like Queen Elizabeth I because it is British culture? African movies, my foot.
But you must admit, Nigerians know how to live.
Well, even a broken clock is right at least twice a day.
I wish we could all learn to enjoy ourselves like that.
I must admit, with them, more is more. My kind of people.
Tell me about it.
Do you really think I've overdone it?
No, not at all.
Good answer.
I know better.
Catwalk, and I see you from a perspective.
Titi catwalks.
Oh, model, statue.
That's your daughter, Mom. That's your daughter.
What is that popular Nigerian song? The one when it's playing, young people think we old people never dance.
Abule?
It starts with a V.
Vibration?
Yes, that one. Can you play it?
You mean on the radio?
No, in my ears. Of course, on the radio. Let's enjoy a bit of life, no? Find the Nigerian in us.
But if the testing out is playing, we won't hear ours.
Then why don't they play it for us?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like this is a test?
It's not every day I become the mother of a doctor. So you better take advantage of it before the moment passes. Or better still, Zizinga! Zizinga! Please tell the DJ to play Vibrations.
Vibrations, the Nigerian one?
Is there a Ugandan one?
Titi joins Nnalongo at the window.
Just play it, Zizinga.
The music starts to play. Nnalongo takes to the main floor. Titi giggly takes her mother's lead and joins her on the main floor, dancing.
Where did you learn that from, Mom?
Meja doesn't reveal her naughty secrets. And I am not anybody's mom right now. Just think of me as Mama G. Zizinga! That's enough for today.
The music stops.
It was just getting better.
That's as much as my old body can do now. My daughter.
Oh, Mom.
Listen, you may have a future in this fashion design thing.
You think so?
After you are first done with the law school, of course.
What?
You have to be wise. Bring me my law degree and then you can go gamble. Should things not work out, you will come find it up on this wall.
And we're back to normal.
But you did well
Thank you.
on this assignment.
Great. I'll show you I can do well always. I'll show you.
I'll be here. In the meantime, why not start with the odd job you will start with at the bottom of the fashion world? Put the mannequins away while I go change.
Nnalongo smiles and starts to ascend the stairs. Titi approaches the mannequins on the sofa. She picks up Nnalongo's and she reaches for Kato's. A silly idea hits her. She lets go of Kato's and starts to goof around with Nnalongo's. Nnalongo catches her and stops midway the stairway.
Kabuli Titi, how many times must I tell you to always remember you are from the Lion Clan? We are the Mpoligomas. We are the Mpoligomas, and we must always carry ourselves like lions.
Or lioness.
Like anyone cares about your women's rights.
What?
I said, even as an educated, independent woman, you are still a Mpoligoma, and lions do not goof around.
Right.
She hears noises from without as the kids shout, Baze, Babano, they have come, they are here. Sharp ululations from a few women without and a few congratulatory messages from the adults from without. Webale Kusuma, congratulations. Wasomeno. You're so well read. Titi callously puts back Nnalongo's mannequin, hurries to the window and looks out.
They're here, Mom. They're here.
Nnalongo
How come they are not using the open roof car? Nah, yeah, Uncle Kiwa. I gave him a clear instruction that when approaching home, he should open the car roof so Kato can wave to the people.
But Mom, you also know your Kato.
Abantu babeyeke mu keklasi. Your uncle resists class like it hurts. I will give him a piece of my mind about this for sure.
She turns away from the window, notices the letter M has fallen from the word home in the sentence, welcome back home.
And look at what these idiot decorators did. These words will stick for eternity if you want, they said. Looks like one can't even get the simplest service done well in this country anymore.
She tries to put the letter back, but fails.
Don't just stand there and gawk at me. Come help.
Titi goes to her. Nnalongo gives Titi the letter and carries her up to fix it, but she is too weak to carry her daughter higher up. Uncle Kiwa enters, sees them struggling and smiles. He carries Titi from Nnalongo and puts her down, takes the letter and fixes it. He turns to leave. Nnalongo holds him back. Nnalongo holds him back by the arm. Uncle Kiwa gives her a sharp stare. She lets go.
Naye, Uncle Kiwa, what happened to the open roof car thing we talked about? Uncle Kiwa, you fear class. You fear class so much.
Yes, I fear class, but seems your son even fears it more because he is the one that stopped me from using the open roof car.
He did that the whole way from...
What's up?
Huh?
It's this internet thing that allows everyone to use their phone number from wherever they are.
Uncle Kiwa heads for the stairs.
Hey! I am not done with you.
Uncle Kiwa stops and waits.
One moment.
She turns to Titi.
Why didn't you put me in it?
I didn't know you wanted to be on it.
You know I always want to move with the times, and I told you you were my eyes, ears, legs, everything to new developments.
Yeah, only one that suits you.
I heard that. I always hear your so-called asides. The aside genes definitely came from me, and you diluted.
Hate to be a pest, but can I go?
And a pest you always are.
Nnalongo turns to Titi.
See how it's done? And you, one problem, two problems you always have. Lack of patience and letting children ride you like an old motor tire. It's the same reason your own children have dropped out of school like locusts.
Nnalongo, we have a function, and let's not spoil it for Kato. So for his sake, I will ignore what you just said.
Occasionally you say sensible things.
Do you want me for anything else? What?
Where is Kato?
He is coming. He wanted a moment.
And his luggage? Did it also want a moment in the car?
No, but he has no luggage.
Did he fly some stupid Ugandan plane?
I don't know.
Must have. They are the ones full of idiots that lose people's luggage. I tell you, one can't get one decent service in this country.
No, this time actually the airlines are not stupid. Kato told me he decided to travel light. If you will excuse me, I must go change.
Uncle Kiwa hurries up the stairway.
What does he mean he decided to travel light? I hope your brother isn't planning to immigrate.
No, your son is not planning to emigrate.
Kato enters. Nnalongo turns round and comes face to face with Kato, with an overgrown beard and standing dreadlocks. She doesn't recognize him.
Hey! Wait right there! Wait right there!
Kato halts.
We are expecting a very important guest. We do not want...
Really?
Yes! VIP. Look. We have no time for this now. Just go. Yes,
Oh.
Go somewhere at the back. I'll have someone bring you food there.
Well,
Don't just stand there opening your mouth like a dead fish. Go.
She starts to push him out, yelling to him to go. Uncle Kiwa comes rushing down the stairs as she organizes his tie. As he organizes,
Will you stop it, Nnalongo? That's your son.
What?
That is your son.
Kato, is that you?
unless you bought a better son somewhere else.
Oh no! You became a Pan-Africanist like every African who travels abroad.
What can I say?
I do say.
Nnalongo forgets about keeping up appearances for a moment and gives him a tight hug. Kato hesitantly hugs her back.
Oh, let me see you properly. You look like a doctor, despite the shabby hair.
Welcome back home, big brother.
Thanks, baby sis.
I say you can keep your Pan-Africanism for tomorrow. For today, you must look the part for the party that celebrates you. That weed hair and Jesus Christ beard must go. Son, no, 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 no. Always being a bad example to the young.
Uncle Kiwa and Titi just continue laughing. When she realizes they are unable to control themselves, Nnalongo joins them laughing.
Go make a call to the barbers to come over quick. Time is not on our side.
Don't go anywhere. Mother, give us a moment to rest, please.
Us?
Yes, us.
Kato signals someone to enter. Chirabo, a young, beautiful woman of about his age, enters with a small, classy travel bag.
And who is this young, beautiful woman?
Chirabo goes on her knees in the Uganda culture style.
Erade, mama.
No. There is no need for that now, my daughter. Not in these times of class. We have left behind those backward behaviors.
Mother, Chirabo, mother.
Chirabo? Exotic name. People faking class written all over it.
Nice to meet, mama.
And how is Chirabo here?
She traveled by the same plane as I.
You know what I mean.
Friend.
Uncle Kiwa and Titi say hello to Chirabo. Nnalongo forces herself to say hello too.
It's such a pleasure. Bittersweet pleasure to meet any relative of Moses. I mean, with Moses, it was like I had known him forever. Maybe right from birth. Like our souls crossed paths way before Oxford. So whenever I thought of his family, I got this weird notion that maybe it would feel the same, like family.
And he had to go to Oxford to return with a Ugandan friend with all the mzungu women there.
Maybe you can sell her and use the money to buy me a mzungu woman. Sorry. You are my guest, and I shouldn't be making you uncomfortable.
You weren't supposed to hear that. Sorry. Blame it on an old age. Why didn't you tell me you were bringing someone?
So you could make a triple fuss?
He looks at his welcome back writing on the wall.
For instance, have something like double congratulations upon your medical surgery degree and double welcome home, Kato and wife. We celebrate you doubly.
Wife? Over my dead body. No, you are just making fun of your mother.
Did you need the medical surgery part, mother?
Son, medical surgery is not just general practice medicine.
If you say so. And you are all grown up.
Tell me about it. I see boys pretending to be sightseeing, and I know exactly the kind of sightseeing they're doing.
Well, mom is a liar.
Sometimes mother is indeed a liar, if not always.
What? You two siblings are ganging up against me now? Come, my fellow wife of the Lion.
Mother, I told you, she's just a friend.
I know, you think we marry our enemies? That's why you must make better friends. If you let this slip through your hands, you are a fool.
Nnalongo checks her watch.
We sit down and eat something before the guests get here.
Right, we are still doing that.
What do you mean?
Well, we must eat some before the guests arrive, so we don't end up coming off like gluttons, heaping our plates with food before the guests. It's a class thing. Like you see Bazungo do, taking just a little something on napkins. Oh, Moses sort of told me.
Oh, Kato, always being silly. But listen, people, it's the way of the world. You think everything you see out there is exactly what you see?
She makes her way to the dining table.
Okay, let's eat. You two need to get ready for the party.
Chirabo is not staying for the party.
All right, whatever you say.
She quickly starts to remove the lids off the bowls.
Like I would really want her to stay, so everyone can know Kato returned with a black Ugandan girl for a wife, the whole way from Oxford. Oxford!
Ungo looks at the clock.
Look at that! Come on, people, let's eat, chop chop, because you, mister, you will need to clean up before the party.
Mother, we are not eating.
Nonsense! You can't bring a girlfriend home and make her starve. That skinny ass may work for white women.
For once, I agree with your mother. I mean about the starving the girlfriend part, not the white women's skinny asses part.
They take their seats at the dining table. Nnalongo plants herself by Kato's side, thus and Chirabo center Kato. She quickly but meticulously, in an accustomed manner, sets Chirabo's china and cutlery from the extra set on the table for presentation purposes only.
Shall we have to call a special hire to drive Chirabo home when it's time?
Or I could drive her home if it's not too far.
I'm afraid home is too far and I don't know the way. Oh, my jaja moved while I was away.
I see.
Don't worry about Chirabo. She will be picked from here by somebody who knows the way to her Jaja's house.
I hope it's a good person. Times are dangerous these days.
Yes, times have always been dangerous.
Oh, I will be safe. My godfather's picking me up himself.
Oh, sorry we didn't know Kato was bringing a guest.
Moses likes to surprise people, and often at the wrong time.
Talk about it.
Nnalongo reaches for Kato's plate and starts to passionately serve him.
Oh, come on, serve yourself.
Mother, so I can serve myself, please.
Oh, when do you know how to do these things?
I've been doing it for the last 5 or 6 years.
Doesn't mean you have been doing it right. Eat!
Feel lucky she didn't ask you to serve him. Kabula Titi, make tea for your brother. Kabula Titi, don't you see your brother's clothes are all dirty and he started recycling them? Kabula Titi, how could you go nap before finishing milling posho for your brother? Do you want him to starve to death? That's the part about Kato being away that I don't miss at all.
Here. How can you say that about your brother?
Don't look at me like that.
That hurt.
I'm joking. Just a teeny weeny.
And that reminds me of little Babirie's complaint. Well, when Babirie couldn't take how your mother woke her and Kato up in the morning for school anymore, she voiced her concern.
Oh. I know that story.
No, Babirie said, "Mommy, when it's me, you just whisk the blanket off my body and say, Babirie, get up."
But when it's Kato, then you go, boy, my boy, get up, my boy. Slowly
caressing the blanket of his body. Come on, people, where's your sense of humor?
It was funnier when Babiri told it.
Sorry.
No, sorry.
Why?
For having to sit through this.
See what you've done?
It was a harmless reminiscing.
Clearly not for everyone. Just be an adult. Sometimes, Uncle Kiwa. Things of the past are better left in the past. Sometimes. If you Kids have finished playing. Let's eat.
Careful, uncle. Mother doesn't play. She only means business.
What is that supposed to mean?
Oh, just ignore him, Mama. Moses can be a handful sometimes.
Tell me about it. I hope you will manage him, my daughter. And if you don't, the better. Maybe we shall all get a mzungu replacement.
Let's just say I'm indestructible. I have 2 lives to live. If one is taken, the second pops up. Poof.
That's a Lion's Clan wife. We are indestructible. I like you. I like her. She has got the attitude of success.
That she has got.
Go get some extra china and cutlery.
What for when we still have extras?
Why do I waste time grooming you? Think like a modern day African. Today is a special occasion, not just as usual. Many people are coming and we don't want someone to pop in and find our presentation lacking.
You make it seem like they're food critics.
And speaking of modern day success, did you also go to Oxford University?
Why?
Can't a mother-in-law ask?
Yes.
Yes, what? Same university or a mother-in-law can't ask?
Both.
I hope a daughter-in-law with an attitude of success can speak for herself.
Moses is very protective of me like that. Same university, same course, different specializations. I mean, areas.
Really?
Yeah, Moses is in heart surgery. I'm in birth.
Birth what?
Surgeries.
Oh, right. Forgive me. Old age.
Obstetric surgeon, you know, like Moses is cardiovascular surgeon.
As a mother who has birthed, I know how important that is. Too many children and mothers die at birth.
Some are sacrificed after.
True that. And there's many ways in which children are sacrificed daily, especially girls. After what my parents did to me, I wanted to do something that saves children.
How very noble. You, my daughter, are in the right place with us here, a place of people with big lion hearts. And let me tell you something. It's your parents' loss.
That it is.
And my gain, after all. I know so.
And yours is the best revenge, success of the deserted.
Titi returns with the china and cutlery and starts to set them up as expected for presentation.
Oh, you are so grown up. Well, I mean, whenever Moses talked of you, he made it sound like you were such a baby.
I guess one's baby sis always remains one's baby sis, you know?
So, what class are you in now, Titi?
Senior 2.
Loud, prolonged women's laughter from outside.
See what happens when people don't go to school? They specialize in gossip. I bet Mama Fina is with them. Wherever Mama Fina is, there is always gossip and laughter.
It's just how women forget their troubles. No harm.
So, what's it like?
What?
Being that doctor of births.
I really don't like to talk about it.
She thinks we are too dumb to understand it.
Would you?
Would I what?
Understand.
That's not the point.
The point.
Yeah, what is the point?
Come on.
No. What's the point?
Never mind.
Nnalongo starts to make herself busy with organizing cutlery here and there and nowhere, really.
She doesn't think girls can be surgeons. She wants to test if Chirabo really knows her medicine.
That's not true.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, what degree do you think Babiria would be celebrating today, Mother? Do you think that maybe Babiria could have been a surgeon?
What?
Do you think Babiria could have been a surgeon?
That is not an appropriate conversation for a day like today.
Why not?
Son, I don't think now is the right time to talk about
No.
this.
Why not? Why not, Uncle? I'm just curious. Mother, what do you think?
I think your uncle is right. There is a time for everything, Kato. Now is the time to celebrate, not remind ourselves of the dead.
I'm sure Babiria's death is one death you don't want to be reminded of, Mother.
Son, your mother is right. So you are making your friend uncomfortable. This should be a happy time, celebration time.
Right. A time to kill and a time to celebrate.
What is wrong with you today, son?
Oh, I think Mother knows what I'm talking about.
Why must you remind me of the sad death of my daughter on a day like this?
I bet it broke your heart. What better time to remember her than the day that she could possibly have been graduating? So it's a simple question, Mother. Would you have wanted her to be a surgeon?
I think the right question is, could she have been a surgeon? Could she have been anything? I mean, look at Titi, for instance. Obsessed with this fashion thing, given she seems good at it, but
what?
Let's be honest. Fashion designer is just a glamorized tailor, like air hostess is a glamorized waitress. We have to be honest with you, Kabuli Titi. You don't want to be shocked by some runway judge telling you you should never touch any fabric ever again, and with that, sealing your fashion design dream like Simon Cowell, shocking all those poor kids, their family and friends told them that could sing like angels.
I thought you said I'm good at it.
I said you seem good at it. Kabuli Titi. Seems good at it is a compliment still. It recognizes potential. And what did I tell you earlier on? That I would be the first to support your pursuit of fashion.
After I first give you your law degree.
If really you can do and be anything like your generation thinks, then why not be the best lawyer, doctor, engineer, whatever?
The best is not a profession. The best is not what one is best at, but what one is passionate about too.
We both know you are saying nonsense when you use a lot of high-sounding nothings like right now.
No, you think we both do.
Well, we can't all be young and naive.
I, for one, love Kabuli Titi's fashion policing. So, come to think of it, you haven't given your fashion verdict today.
Uncle Chiwa playfully organizes his tie.
What do you think?
Well, so much has been going on, but wow, Uncle Chiwa, I hadn't noticed how you killed it today.
Hot, right? Like a hot potato.
Hot potato. There he is, not being Mukalisi at all.
Speaking of dressing hot, aren't you lucky I ordered you a hot Irish potato suit, not the usual local potato hot like Uncle Chiwa's.
I guess Titi will be the judge of that.
I bet you want to be a maverick fashion designer.
Uncle Chiwa exaggerates.
I don't.
Well, if you do, then you shouldn't be shy about it. You scream fashion.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I designed this.
No.
Yes.
That's so... You took the word off of my lips. It's like retro meets futuristic.
Get out of here. That's exactly what I was going for.
See? Reminds me of Pervy Doshi.
The one who won the Emerging Designer Award for Grazing Magazine?
Yes. The way she uses traditional crafting technique in the styles of today.
Exactly. Oh, you are killing me right now. She's like my #1 fashion idol. She inspires me so much.
So, you are a surgeon who understands fashion?
It's the era of sexy and brainy.
Beauty and brains. You chose well, son. Girls are surprising us today. They are achieving big time and becoming better family heirs than boys who are drinking or drugging away their lives.
Yes, they are. They are surprising us for sure. You must stay for the party. If we can find you what to wear, even sexy and brainy women must dress well.
Mother, Chirabo is not staying for the party.
Nonsense!
I'm sure she would love to, but unfortunately she can't stay. Her aunt is expecting her home soon.
I would love to, but unfortunately, I can't stay. My Jaja is expecting me home soon.
Yes, sorry. She grew up with her Jaja, but her aunt is at her Jaja's right now. And she came over to welcome her back home.
Right. That's true. That's exactly how it happens. Honey, you remember every little thing I share with you.
Aren't you two just adorable? I knew he would always bring home the right woman.
He was always the perfect boy, no doubt.
Yes, he always was.
Titi returns with the dishes and sets them before Chirabo.
So, Chirabo, you said you grew up with your Jaja?
Yes.
May I ask, what happened to your parents?
Let's just say my parents killed me when I was young. Metaphorically speaking, of course. To them, I was dead. They took my brother close to heart and left me in the cold. So my grandmother took care of me.
With Dereki?
Yeah, no, you don't have to answer that.
No, I want to. Chirabo is actually just a pet name.
Thank God.
My formal name is Indagire.
Inigire? As in from the Balakiri clan? I mean, Amumbecha.
Yes.
Oh, Amumbecha!
Nze Indagire, mbere navasanke muwakata, nde mualama ndere ya segawenge. Alagimede I wakisu mbusira, nde muzukule wa John Bosco Chabagu. Eyabese kukozi komotoka simutu. Nvamula jwa komotoka simutu. Insibukamu sekabaka chikulwe kaliti mbusiru.
Well, if it's not a mzungu wife, then better Amumbeche. This nonsense about Chirabo not staying for the party stops now. Where is your aunt or Jaja's number so I can call and respectfully ask them? They are invited to the party too, for all I care.
Mother, don't start. It's decided.
Nonsense. How often does a Mumbeje come to a party at my house, let alone here?
Stop it, Mother.
Do you know what it will do for our family if the guests met her?
There will be no party, Mother.
What? What?
There will be no party. At least not for me.
But it's your party.
Is it? Look around, Mother. This is obviously your party. Everything screams Nnalongo Maria.
Kato, that's your mother you're talking to.
Anyway, look, I am leaving with Chirabo.
You have all the time to spend with Chirabo. Why don't you share her with us now?
She is not property to be shared, Mother.
You know what I mean. What has got into you, son? It's not every day my son returns home with a medical degree and a mumbeja wife.
Friend.
Friend, wife, same difference. This is no time to be cheeky, Kabuli Titi.
You amaze me. It amazes me how you carry yourself like everything is perfect. How can you celebrate? Just carry on with such extravagance, knowing where the money came from.
What money?
The money for the Kisekka family.
I don't know what you're talking about. I worried one day the Kisekka family madness would catch up with you, and here we are. What?
Do you mean the madness that killed father?
Everybody knows how your father died.
Really?
Don't
look at me. Ask mother. Me?
I don't know what he thinks I should know.
You know what I'm talking about. At least, maybe just tell me that you lied to me because I was young. Don't insult my intelligence by feigning ignorance.
You go to Mzungu school and now you think you're smarter than your own mother?
Nobody said that.
I never lied to you, ever. Any explanation I gave you was what I believed you could comprehend as a child.
Lied to you about what?
And then to you, I never grew up. I never grew up enough for you to tell me that father committed suicide.
Kalema died of heart attack.
That's what mother led all of us to believe.
I don't know what he is talking about. I married in the wrong family, a family of mental only. Dr. Gone mad.
All look at Kato.
Pretty girl, obsessed with the look of madness.
All check out Titi.
I mean, her daily clothes, not this one.
All look away.
I think as one of the mad Kisekkas, I will excuse myself before I lose my wires completely.
I can prove it.
Prove what?
Prove that father committed suicide.
Oh,
Your box.
I don't have any box.
Titi, go. Find mother's sacco box and bring it.
If you know what's good for you, you won't take a step anywhere.
Titi stops.
What exactly is in this box?
Good question. Let's all find out together, shall we?
Kato ascends the stairs. Nnalongo rises to follow him. Chirabo steps in front of her, barricading her way.
I wouldn't do that.
The young lady is right, Nnalongo.
Nnalongo heeds. All fall quiet. Dead silence. One could hear a pin drop. Kato returns with the sacco box. Nnalongo is alarmed. She rushes toward him but cannot get past Chirabo and Uncle Kiwa.
Those are my private things.
Kato ignores her. He crashes the box on the stairs and it breaks open. He rummages through it and finds a piece of paper. He checks it.
Not this one.
Second piece of paper.
Ah.
He opens and checks it.
No, not this one either.
Son, you need help. We can take you to Butabika to be helped.
Kato finds a third piece of paper, opens and checks it out.
This is it.
What?
If you are reading this, then I have decided to end it. I cannot continue living like this.
All turn and look at Nnalongo.
He committed suicide.
Dead silence. This hits Uncle Kiwa and Titi hard, while Kato and Chirabo take a breath, seemingly relieved that the truth is out. Lights out. The celebration, early night. Dead silence. Uncle Kiwa and Titi find seats. Nnalongo sits right where she is, near her box. Only Kato and Chirabo remain standing. Kato drops the suicide note back into the box and withdraws, finding a seat. Chirabo follows him and sits by his side.
Well, now we all know why the food and celebration isn't top of my priorities.
But Mr. Kalema did not do whatever he did for the reason Kato says.
I didn't actually give a reason per se. All I said was the madness that killed father. But now that you bring it up.
How should I know? Whatever madness you're thinking about, that's not the reason my husband...
Then why hide the suicide note?
To protect Kalema's name and the family name. You know how everyone still admires him as a businessman. He has inspired many. It would break them if they knew Kalema, the business giant, committed suicide. The worst form of failure. So if you're going to blame me for anything, then blame me for protecting my husband's name.
That's a lie, mother, and you know it.
I was protecting the memory of my husband and myself. Who wants to become the laughing stock of the village? Heart attack is a disease of the rich. Thinkers and hard workers, but suicide is failure.
And that's finally the truth. I know because it smells so you, or rather at least part of the truth.
He continues to read.
I cannot continue to stay awake and make money. I am sorry. Tell the children I am very sorry. Kalema.
What did he mean?
Nnalongo approaches her, consoling her.
At some point, when the business grew too big, your father just couldn't cope with it.
That's not true.
All turn and look at Chirabo. Kato checks Chirabo.
Sorry.
Just be careful. You don't want to mess up everything.
I said I'm sorry.
Sorry doesn't recall things back, and some things are too important.
I said I'm sorry. What's eating at you?
Kato gives her a, you know what is eating at me, look.
Never mind that. Never mind him. He's obviously under a lot of pressure and is taking it out on me, his only ally.
Pressure? What pressure?
I don't know. Party, everything.
We have everything under control. And what ally? Ally in what?
Never mind us. What I meant was just that this is not what Moses told me Babirie told him.
Just how much did you tell this slut about our family? And of course, you believed him. Love truly is so blind. Doesn't see someone clearly having a mental breakdown. Becoming a doctor must be truly hard. But please, not you too with this madness.
The only mad person here is you. Mad with deception.
Don't say that about my mother. You're not even an official daughter-in-law.
Like I would want to be. I'm sorry, but she is forcing my hand. Did you just say yourself how your mother is? How did you put it?
I can say these things about my mother. She's my mother.
Well, she's all yours.
How can you accuse me of deception if all I'm trying to understand is how you would know anything? You, a stranger in my house, now abusing my hospitality.
She approaches Chirabo aggressive. Chirabo draws back, ending up on the sofa. Nnalongo stands over.
Many schemers come and go.
Schemer?
Schemer slut.
Chirabo.
What are you looking at me for? You wanted to help.
Who do you think will inherit all the wealth of this family? And you will be right there by his side. Don't for one moment think I'm dumb, wiggling your slender, sexy behind around. I wiggled my behind long before you were able to say the name Moses.
Nnalongo.
Don't Nnalongo me, Uncle Chiwanika. Kato is not behaving like himself, and you know what this cute, skinny behind girls of these days are capable of. Just so you know, you don't have to isolate me in order to enjoy the family's wealth.
Stop it, Nnalongo.
Well, I called it. Call me a bitch for it, for all I care.
Indeed, you are a bitch.
Mommy, Chiwanika, you better watch how you talk to me. This is my house.
And who can forget that? I've tolerated you and your nonsense enough. So today you will listen to me. I said today you will listen to me. And I'm still talking.
Let me ask a question.
No.
But
I said no. Just because you talk incessantly doesn't mean you're the smartest person in the world, and the reverse is true. Just because I hardly talk doesn't mean I'm a fool or that I don't see everything. I see everything. If you see me soaking in all your abuse, it is only because I'm exercising adult wisdom and trying to rise above you, above your pettiness. If I didn't, I wouldn't be at any of your anything, which I never enjoy anyway. I'm not exactly a sucker for pain, but this is still my brother's home, and I soak in everything for that, for him, his family. You think I enjoy being ignored by you most of the time and only being remembered either when there's a function or when you or the kids are in trouble and still being treated like the monkey's ass while at it? Contrary to your weird notion, not everyone wants to associate with your wealth. I don't exactly see any Kisekka standing by you since my brother died. And in this world, sooner or later, you will need an ally, someone to stand with you. And if you want me to continue playing the role of a father in this family, then it's not going to be just playing. You're going to start not only respecting me, but listening to me.
It's about time a fatherly figure carried himself as worthy of fatherhood.
And you shut up. You should learn to apply your own wisdom. You have been away from home for so long, and this is how you choose to return? Did you spend all your time in school cramming names of fancy diseases and medicines and no wisdom? You can now ask your question. You. You are probably the only person here who treats me like a person too.
Well, it's hard to treat a person who doesn't treat himself like a person. Sorry.
Thank you for your wisdom. And you are not Pogolo wife until you are made a Pogoloma wife. So you may want to tread carefully. And the only reason we haven't thrown you out yet is because we fear he may run away with you. He is still our son, crazy or not.
Don't worry. I'm used to being thrown out.
And now you. So you found out how your father died. Couldn't you have been an adult about it and waited until we celebrated your return and degree?
Maybe it's because I didn't want to be a fraud, like some people I know. Maybe it's because I don't actually have a degree.
What?
I dropped out.
What? Oh, come on, Jesus.
Look, don't you want to know why I dropped out? Well, don't you?
What difference does it make?
I don't know. Being informed, I suppose.
Nnalongo looks at Chirabo for confirmation. Chirabo confirms. Nnalongo finds a seat.
Are you going to honor us with an explanation?
Isn't that obvious?
Not to those of us who didn't read big books, son.
There's a way finding out the truth about some things messes with one's mind.
So you discovered your father committed suicide and you decided to hell with this school. No use getting a degree when dad committed suicide. I just found out my brother committed suicide after 15 years of believing he died of a heart attack. It's like he just died all over again, and the pain is excruciating, even if you may not see it. So should I also now drop out of my family duties? Should we all drop out of wherever?
Uncle Chiwa playfully makes to leave.
Wait, what? I mean, what do we tell the guests?
I don't know, Nnalongo. You always know what to say in such situations.
But you said you want full fatherly duties. This is it. This is full fatherly duties.
You will let me get to the bottom of this without interference.
Within reason, of course. Fine.
You can, of course, reasonably chip in whenever necessary.
Fine.
Not the same as interfering.
Fine.
Not that truth, Uncle.
What?
I didn't drop out because of Dad's suicide.
Which truth now?
Kato looks at Chirabo.
Well, don't look at me. You have this all figured out, right?
A truth darker. Mother knows.
Not that again, son.
But she knows.
Uncle Chiwa and Titi look questioningly at Nnalongo.
I don't honestly know what Kato or her are talking about.
You do.
I don't.
Okay. So you don't know how you and father heard the rumor that Amkula was looking for a child to sacrifice at the foundation of his now renowned Millennium Plaza?
I don't know.
You don't know how father then approached the construction site and he got the right person.
I don't know.
And you don't know how father offered his daughter. Only they gave him 4 million shillings. You don't know.
No.
Can I leave?
No.
Kato and Chirabo turn sharply at Titi.
Sorry. Impulse. I lost it. I mean, I forgot myself. I think it is important for children not to cut themselves short on discussions about family issues.
See how your madness is making us all mad?
It is not madness. I saw the man who bought Babiri.
I don't know about any such man.
He was here. Not here, but in our former house.
I don't know what you are talking about.
The supposed philanthropist who gave father a little capital he turned into billions.
I told you, I don't know about any man.
I saw the man. You saw the man.
See any man. Why are you doing this, son?
But you said you didn't see the face of the man who kidnapped your sister.
Yes, he was wearing a mafia mask, but everything else about him was no different from the man who had been at the house, father's business associate or whoever he is. I'm telling you, Uncle, that was the guy.
I already said, I don't know any man.
Mother dressed up Babiri. Dressed her up like it was Christmas. In fact, it was one of her past Christmas dresses. And then she asked us to go out and play.
His father wanted them out so they don't distract. You know what it's like with kids when adults are...
What does that even mean? And when we said it was too cold to go out and play, father lost it so bad and he yelled at us to do as mother said.
You know how hot and short-tempered your baby brother is. What was?
Mother gave us 1,000 shillings. 1,000 shillings. Mother never does something nice unless she's hiding something.
Everyone needs a little motivation.
Except she had never motivated us with money. Canes, oh yes, money.
Great! So I can't be just a good-for-nothing mother or learn to motivate my children better?
And to think Babirye and I went out happily and even bought kulbas and we enjoyed. On second thought, at least she enjoyed something in her last moments. Not last moments, but you know, we all know what the last moments were like, huh?
Can you please slow down, son?
Not long after that, the man came and he grabbed Babirye.
The same man who had been at the house?
Yes.
You are sure?
I think so.
You think so?
Look, like I said, I didn't see his face, but everything else about him looked the same as the man who came to the house. His height, his size, movement.
You were only 7 and you remember all this? Not to mention make all these associations?
What?
I thought so.
I know what I am talking about.
But you must admit, it sounds a bit...
Son, if you continue like this, I'm afraid you will end up like your father. Let me help you.
I do not need your help. I'm not the kid you used to lie to anymore, Mom.
You are never too old for a mother's help.
You know I'm not crazy. You know the truth.
I don't know this truth you are talking about.
Nnalongo escapes. Kato follows her.
Why are you doing this, son?
You don't know how you and father got the 4 million and arranged for it to look like Babirye was kidnapped.
No.
So you don't know how you sent me and Babirye to go play outside so that the fake kidnapper could take her.
No.
You don't know how the fake kidnapper took her and how you and father pretended to look for her, pretended to mourn her death, filed a fake police report, led the entire community to search for her for weeks. You don't know any of these things?
No. Something is wrong with you. You are losing your mind or something, son. Uncle Kiwa, say something here.
I've never been more sober in my life, Mom.
Uncle Kiwa approaches and pulls Kato aside.
How do you know all this, son?
You
Nnalongo
believe him?
Can I ask you a question?
No. Yes.
Do you want us to get to the bottom of this?
Well, yes, of course, but there is nothing to get to the bottom of.
If there's nothing to get to the bottom of, then there is nothing to get to the bottom of. And that is getting to the bottom.
Okay.
See how confusing I can also be if I mean to be a smartass? I must ask the necessary questions to get to the nothing, to get to the bottom, if that really is the case. So, do you want me to get to the bottom of this?
Fine. How can he explain what didn't happen?
Happened and you know it, Mom.
And how do you know?
I know.
How?
I know, Uncle Kiwa.
Son, we all know what we know, but we can't crucify people because we know.
See? He is just losing his mind.
Look, I am not losing my mind, Mother. How I know what I know is not that important or shouldn't be. The important thing is that I know. I
but
know.
How you know it is important.
Fine. Babirye told me.
Babirye told you?
Yes, Uncle Kiwa, Babirye told me.
Maybe we should actually cancel the party.
What? I mean, there is no need to cancel the party. People will talk.
People, always people.
Because impression is important. It's all we've got.
No, it's all you've got, Mother. Don't count on me at that party.
If he doesn't want to celebrate his success, the rest of us will do it on his behalf.
If you say so.
One day when he is finally up for it, we will throw him an even bigger party.
Don't count on that either.
But son.
Babirie told me, Uncle Kiwa. She told me.
When was this?
Some time back. It doesn't matter.
Where?
Where else? Where I was.
Babirie was with you in London?
Yes, Uncle. And actually, it's Oxford. Please.
That is impossible.
Impossible. Or you would rather it wasn't true, so the truth doesn't come out.
That's absurd. Yeah? You're absurd.
Nnalongo, this could be good news. Come to think of it, Babirie was kidnapped, but her body was never found. We just performed a burial ceremony in line with culture.
Believe me, I want her to be alive too, but...
You know she's not, because you know what you did.
Kato, I know you miss your sister, but we can't all be dreamers. Some of us have to be realists to keep dreamers from getting lost.
Let the boy tell us more. Maybe Babirie escaped from the kidnappers and somehow ended up in school in London too.
Oxford.
So she ended up at Oxford?
Yes.
And you saw your sister in the flesh?
Well, not exactly. See, she first came to me in my dreams, telling me exactly what happened to her.
Great.
No, then she started to come in person, but no one else would see her.
Now you are beginning to sound like your father.
See? Father used to see Babirie too.
Of course not. What absurdity. I'm saying you are sounding all crazy like your father would sometimes.
I'm telling you the truth, Uncle Kiwa. I'm telling you the...
Are you feeling okay, son?
Uncle Kiwa, I am not crazy.
I know, son. But maybe you miss your sister. You know the spirits of twins are usually more intertwined because even as twins are said to share a close bond, but especially you as a scientist must know that Babirie showing up in your dreams, revealing these secrets is a big...
I'm telling you, I am not crazy, Uncle Kiwa.
No one is saying you are. Just...
Sounds crazy, crazy. Yes, same thing. Yes. I miss my sister. But this is not about that. I am telling you the truth.
Son,
Babirie told me.
I think if Babirie really wants the truth to be known, then it's high time she showed up. Not just to you, but to everyone here.
Would you say something to him, my daughter?
What?
Well, calm him down. Get him to see reason or something. Isn't that what girlfriends do?
Mother, leave Chirabo out of this.
Something obviously happened to you overseas, and maybe you need a timeout.
That's exactly what I am saying here. I'm saying that something happened to me. Babirie told me what happened to her.
Are you saying Babirie survived the kidnap and told you what happened?
No, not exactly.
What exactly are you saying then?
I'm saying Babirie appeared to me from the dead.
Okay.
How about we all call the family doctor and just see what he has to say?
I don't need a family. I don't need a doctor, Uncle. Mother, you know I'm telling the truth. Why don't you just do the one decent thing and redeem yourself? Just tell the truth.
Bully Titi, go get the doctor on the phone. Your brother needs help, and I thought it was the Pan-African look.
Titi, don't go anywhere.
Go!
Don't! I'm telling you, I'm not crazy, Uncle. Why won't anybody believe me? Why does everyone want to lock me up in a mental institution?
What do you mean everyone wants to lock you up in a mental institution?
You must believe me. She came first in my dreams, and then she started to come in person.
Son.
No. She came to me.
Son,
You must believe me, please, please.
Son,
No,
son.
listen, she came to me. She told me everything that happened to her. And then I couldn't do it. I couldn't cut through bodies. Knowing what they did to Babiri, no.
I bet they saw through your madness and locked you up.
But Babiri helped me get out.
Oh dear. I should have known you had gone mad when you came with that weird Pan-Africanist look. The worst madness is the Pan-Africanist gone mad.
So you are saying Babiri helped you escape?
Yes, uncle.
Out of Bouteflika?
There was no Bouteflika in the UK, uncle.
I mean the Bouteflika of London, whatever it is called.
I was in Oxford City, but yes, Babiri helped me escape from the Bouteflika of London, Warnford.
Great. So you chose the perfect time to go crazy, just a semester before I became the mother of a doctor.
You will never be the mother of a doctor or anything that matters. Just a common murderer. A woman who sold her daughter for a mere 4 million.
Son, we all know how your father got that money. Kalema found money out of the rich hotel guests had lost, and he gave it back to the guests when he came back looking for it. And for that, the guests rewarded him with 4 million Ugandan shillings, which he managed to multiply into a multi-billion series of businesses.
What?
Huh?
When Babiri was kidnapped from the community was so affected and sympathetic that they mobilized and contributed 4 million. Father was a great businessman. He turned 4 million into 4 billion.
What? No, when Babiri was kidnapped, a philanthropist was so kind and sympathetic that he came and donated 4 million. Father was a man of such great acumen that he turned 4 million into 4 billion. What?
What?
Exactly. What?
But he told me he got a bank loan.
No.
What are you looking at me for? It was your brother who told you how he got his money.
But you told
Both of us.
What is this? Is it gang up on Mother Day? You were 7, and you weren't even born when all this happened.
So how did Kalema get his business capital?
How would I know?
Mom, this is not the time to pull. I'm only a woman, dumb card.
I am only a woman.
Only a woman who ran the business way better than father.
I learned on the job. I can't help if I turned out really great at it. And do you know what it's like to only realize your potential after the death of your husband? And you, judging me.
I'm not judging you, Mom. I'm just trying to understand. We all are.
Well, luckily, you are a woman. Wait till all of you become someone's wife and or mother one day. Then we shall have this talk and many more like it, but I bet you will understand then.
I can't be here. I don't want to be here.
Who do you think wants to be here?
I don't know, but I can only speak for myself and I don't want to.
That's what you always do, thinking you are better than the rest of us women.
What? That's so messed up. I'm not even a woman yet.
Here, once a girl, always a woman.
That's what you always try to make me.
I am always trying to make you a woman? You were born a woman.
But can't I be a girl first? A woman this, a woman that, always.
That's because I am preparing you to know your position in society.
I never heard you prepare Kato for his position as a man in society. Like, what has being a wife and mother got to do with this? Nothing. But well, you always pull that card on me when you want to shut me down, like women have a different moral radar.
Women have a different moral radar.
What?
When you are a woman, it is what society expects of you that matters, whether you are a wife, a mother, or not. You are always a woman. It is what society expects you to be. It is what society wants you to be. It is what society celebrates and crucifies you for.
The irony is you don't treat women any better than you claim the terrible things that society has done to you. This, Mom, is a humanity moral radar thing.
Society morals trump humanity morals always. You think I didn't have passions?
I don't know.
You don't know. You think I didn't want better for myself?
No.
You think all I ever wanted was to keep the house sparkling clean, cooking, Luwumba, and changing nappies?
No.
You think housewife was my dream?
No.
Making a hot bath for your father and all the men of the Kisekka clan that visited in large numbers like Nsemene, like they have no brains to see the insufficient space and resources?
No.
Wait for this. Having to go after them in the bathroom and bring back the washing basin and soap they used, like returning with them would disappear their manhood.
Mom.
Thank heavens for this house where they can do both number 1 and 2 inside without having to turn us into their slaves. Even then, some idiots of the lot still don't flush or clean after themselves. Do you think these are the kind of experiences I needed for my CV?
No.
Ah.
Leave the girl alone.
Kato.
I'm sorry, Mother, but this is between you and me. If you need to take your anger out on anyone, take it out on me.
Taking hot baths?
Do you think we always lived in a house flowing with hot springs of lukewarm baths? You are lucky, young woman. You were born into better times. I gave you a good royal name, even when you are not from a royal clan, to give you class. But you went and commonized it with the name of being exotic. Titi.
What good is a royal name if I get treated like a royal servant?
Well, just know that this whole I'm a hipster fashion designer hype of yours will die. Your passions will die. And all you will be left with is a designing china arrangements in the kitchen and toilet papers in the toilet. The monster called society will slap you, pull your horns out, bite and spit you out, spit on you and turn its back on you. It will take everything from you. And I mean everything. And all you will ever be is either Mukalaya or someone, mama, someone. And you will even wish you could be a Kabuli Titi you take for granted now, if only.
All I'm saying is that you don't have to help society along.
If only you would make things a little easier on everyone with the truth. A little easier on yourself, Mother.
I don't know what to tell you anymore, son.
Nnalongo withdraws, pulling her typical theatrics. Sitting down on the floor, Kato feels guilty. He approaches her.
Mother, I'm sorry. For how long will you hold on to this secret? For how long will this secret have a hold on you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like a double-headed snake, just tugging back and forth both ways, never really making any headway.
I don't know what you're talking about, son.
It's time to let it go, man. Just let it go. Just let it go. Reclaim your freedom. Just let it go, Mother. It's time. Just let go of the control. Take charge. It's time to let go of all the secrets and just...
Please don't pressure me, son, about things I already told you I do not know.
Ah, damn it! Mother, you know that I know that you know I know what you're talking about.
What happened to you abroad? You've become mean. Very mean.
No, don't you dare. Don't
Kato
you dare.
does her.
Sorry. I'm sorry. But please, don't you dare pull the abroad has changed you nonsense on me. This has nothing to do with abroad. All of this, it happened here. Well, not here, but in the Kisekka home. Our home here in Kampala.
I'm sorry, I didn't. But Kato, you've got to let this go. Mom's had enough for one day.
Kato, step back. Please, step back, son.
Let it go. Let's go.
Sure. Take him and his madness away. I hope you have enough pills.
Let's go.
I'm not going anywhere until we resolve this.
Nnalongo looks away. Titi kneels right by Nnalongo's side, consoling her.
I'm sorry, Mom. Obviously, Kato is either losing it or someone is messing up with his head.
Don't you see that she's playing you?
I think you should let whatever this is go. If Mom and Dad had done it, she would have admitted to it by now. Hasn't she already admitted to Dad's suicide?
I'll wait until she sacrifices you two before you come running back to me.
If she wanted to sacrifice me, wouldn't she have done so already?
You're too young.
You have no idea what sacrifices we have made in this family for you.
Oh, no, I do.
Well, don't forget every sacrifice we made in this family has been for you. You are the family heir, the heir to the Kisekka legacy. And how do you repay us? You return from abroad with 0 degree, looking like a thug.
I think all the sacrifices you made were for you and for Father. The medical degree was your dream. It was never mine.
Maybe at the beginning, but when your father died, committed suicide, you wanted to do it for yourself as a tribute to the memory of your father.
No, you guilt-tripped me every day. Almost, your father died happy and proud knowing you would be going to medical school. You said day in and day out.
I was merely motivating you. It's a parent's job to motivate her children.
And to think that now that father died full of guilt and miserable.
I don't know about that. Overwhelmed by work, yes?
No, I don't believe you.
Well, now you have a clean slate to start anew, and whatever it is you want to be, a plumber, driver, broker, for all I care.
A fisheries inspector.
A what?
A fisheries inspector.
And what is that? This is worse than the idiots who opt for MDD, Musura Dala Dala. At least those who know are not better at anything else, so you reconcile yourself with that and write them off. But fisheries inspector? You want to mingle with the fishmongers at Kalanga Island and dam fish farmers in Nakapiri Pirit who didn't go to school at all and smell like fish? Just don't do it in my world. I see you truly returned from abroad to kill me. You and your Sudomumbeja want to kill me so you can inherit everything. Just take the things without killing me. These are just things in the world. Ask me and I'll sign them all over to you. Just don't go through an elaborate plan to kill me.
Can you please tell them to go? I don't think anyone is in the celebration mood anymore.
Chirabo approaches Titi tenderly.
What can we do to make you believe us?
Nothing. Why don't you go? Why don't you take her and go?
Chirabo, let's go.
Just a minute. If you don't believe us, believe your dad. Do you really believe running the business became so hard for your dad he committed suicide? A man known for his strength, but somehow your mom has been stronger and continued running the business, building an empire.
Look, I don't know what you want with Kato or us, but whatever it is, let it go. You honestly don't expect me to not believe my mother over the truth of someone I only met today.
Think about it, Titi. Your dad talked about not being able to continue staying away and making money. If that is not guilt, then
it's fatigue, being overwhelmed with excessive work.
Your father was so affected by what he and your mother did to Babirie and seeing her ghost. Damn it! Babirie's ghost, that is, telling him not to sleep, to wake up and go make money, since he preferred money to his daughter's life.
And how would she know that? Babirie's ghost told Kato and Kato told her?
Look, I think you two need to let this obsession of yours go so we can continue with the celebration if you can allow it to happen.
Uncle Chiwa approaches Kato.
Son, we are happy to see you home, medical degree or not. Hell, degree or not. Let us enjoy having you home again. That is something to celebrate. Degrees have never been people, and our true wealth has always been people, not degrees and money. It is sad about my brother, your father, Kalema, but suicide or heart attack, it really makes no difference. He is dead. It's just a bit of new information that we have to digest, ruminate over, and make sense of as humans. What is important, however, is that you stop this madness about Babirie and return to school. That's if you can still return.
What?
We can just forget everything. I mean, about Babirie, not your father, and celebrate the homecoming part. And maybe even the degree after all, if you're returning to school to get it. But if you insist, we can cancel the party. Just think about it though, son. If your father really committed suicide for the reasons your mother says, then he would...
He would what? But that's not why he committed suicide.
But if it is, then he would want you to complete school. What better way to honor his memory but by saving lives? It's almost like atoning his unthinkable action. What do you think, son?
No sleep for the wealthy. No sleep for the wealthy. No sleep for the wealthy.
Let me guess. Kato told you.
How would I have known that?
Known what? About what, Nnalongo?
Chirabo's incantation sends chills into the room. Titi hurdles close to Nnalongo, as if for her motherly protection, unsure of what is going on.
Anyone?
Nnalongo steps back and freezes in shock when Chirabo starts to recite.
Wake up, Daddy. Wake up, Daddy. Wake up, Daddy. Wake up, Daddy. No sleep for the wealthy. No sleep for the wealthy. No sleep for the wealthy. Wake up, Daddy. Wake up, Daddy. Wake up, Daddy.
How do you know that? How does she know that?
Know what?
What she just said.
Did she say anything? I didn't hear anything.
I see you're trying to drive me crazy like you.
I'll tell you how I know that. I am Babirie.
What? You are alive?
You mean, did I survive after you and Daddy sold me off to be slaughtered like a goat?
So she's not your girlfriend?
I don't hear you deny anything anymore. And call me crazy, Mommy?
She survived? How?
This is me at 22. If you and Daddy hadn't sold me off. Well, at least what I would have been had I lived to see my 22nd birthday. But instead, this is what you and Daddy made me.
In a surreal, ethereal storm, Chirabo starts to transform into Babirie's ghost. The 22-year-old Babirie, had she lived, neck slit open, trails of blood running down her 7-year-old princess dress and 22-year-old Babirie's sides. A terrified Titi runs from Nnalongo to Kato. Nnalongo reaches for her in pain, but Titi hides further behind Kato. She is heartbroken. Titi peeks her head from the refuge behind Kato, trying to make sense of her ghost's knowledge.
But you ate. Sorry.
She retreats to her refuge. Chirabo turns directly to Titi, who cowers even further behind Kato.
She's your sister. She's not gonna hurt you.
You mean, how did I eat as a ghost? Even as a little girl, I was always a quick study. Remember, Mother? Remember how you used to tell Kato to not let his sister outsmart him because he is the boy, the man, the family heir, the Kisekka legacy, the everything? No offense, little bro.
None taken, but little bro?
Well, I'm Babiri, eh? The one who's born first.
By just like what, 3 seconds.
3 whole minutes. Imagine what a girl can do with 15 whole years of holding on to the astral plane, waiting for the right moment for this.
She shows off some ghostly skills she picked up from the astral plane, a painfully sad reminder to all of what she could have been. Nnalongo looks away in shame. Chirabo stops.
Couldn't have come and tormented me privately like you did your father. Did you have to parade and shame me before everyone?
She looks at Uncle Kiwa.
We simply wish to give you an opportunity, and we gave you plenty, to come out clean and at least redeem yourself.
This world is not for the clean.
She sits down in a diagonal position, half facing the audience, half facing the rest of her family. Nnalongo doesn't even turn around.
I guess she finally found something she couldn't blame on old age or being a woman.
Babiri's ghost follows Nnalongo and stands right in front of her, looking down at her. Nnalongo looks away in shame, ironically turning her face towards the audience.
I could have been a surgeon, an obstetric surgeon.
Outside in the family gardens, the MC begins to mobilize the guests. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Hello, hello, party people. This is your MC Zazinga, and it's time to get the party started before the guests of honor come and ruin it with officialities. And we shall dance like the snakes tonight because it is.
Do you know what happened to me?
But before the dancing and masala, we must remind ourselves of the reason we are here, of the people who have made it possible for us to gather here today.
Do you know what they did to me?
We cannot talk of the Kisekkas without talking of the late Mr. Kalema Kisekka, a man who built an empire of wealth from nothing.
Do you know what you and father let them do to me when you sold me for the 4 million you wanted?
And it was the goodness of his heart, the big golden heart of his we all know, that earned him this money. We all know what powerful inspirational story.
I was tied up, dumped into the dark boot of a car, and transported to a place I didn't know.
One day, Kalema was returning home from his work as a hotel cleaner. Yes, Kalema started as a hotel cleaner.
On arrival, I was dumped, yet in a darker dungeon, God knows where.
One day, he was returning home and found a dubious Boda Boda rider stabbing the mzungu client. He was riding back to the hotel after he had robbed him.
When night came, I was transported in a regular, nice car, showered with ice cream like a loved child. They didn't bother to tie me up or even blindfold me. They knew mine was a one-way ticket to hell, so they had nothing to fear.
Kalema, as selfless as he was, forgot about his own safety. He risked his own life to save a stranger, knowing that the Boda Boda man could have turned and stabbed him. Kalema whipped and threw him aside, at which point the Boda Boda man jumped on his bike and took off fast.
Then they tied me up and laid me down on the foundation of what is now Millennium Plaza, like a slaughter goat. And like a slaughter goat, they subdued my small body, covered my mouth, and restrained my neck.
In his gratitude, the stranger gave him a reward of 4 million Uganda shillings, money he invested so wisely with the support of his wife, Nnalongo. For what is a man without a good woman by his side?
They slit my neck open, collected the oozing blood in a calabash, while some ran down my pretty Christmas dress. A dress in which I had only recently celebrated the birth of baby Jesus, as my own life ended before it had even started.
Even with her husband gone, may his soul rest in peace. Nnalongo has shown that she is a true Nnalongo, mother of twins, and has taken the business by its horns and made it flourish more than Mr. Kalema could have ever imagined. He must be very proud of her, as I would love to imagine him smiling in his grave.
Well, as for my body, once they got their precious blood, they were done with it. My body lay there, resisting death in spasms, blood squirting while I took giant, gasping breaths, gurgling blood and coughing, worse than that of a sacrificial lamb, for even a sacrificial lamb is taken care of, skinned, chopped, and carried home for cooking right after its blood is spilled and collected.
And that's why today we are privileged to gather here to eat, drink, and dance pakalas as we celebrate the sweat of his hard work, the degree of medical surgery from Oxford University.
My precious blood, for which my life was taken, believed to appease the gods with its purity, so they may bestow endless blessings to the person giving the sacrifice, was sprinkled all around the area marked for the plaza, accompanied by such poetic incantations. So beautiful. Were you not in my position, you would think it would bring a person back to life.
What a great prize of hard work and integrity. What a great prize.
And then they all left in their fancy cars. My body left for the caretaker to take care of. He tried to give me back my dignity, wrapped me up in a nice blue blanket, laid me at the center of the foundation, said a little prayer for my little soul, and poured concrete on me. Thank God for small mercies. Next day, the builders came and continued normally with the work. And with every concrete they added, they buried me and the dark secret of my story forever, I guess.
And what a great sacrifice of hard work and perseverance by Mr. Kamala and Nnalongo. What a great sacrifice. Indeed, they say the success of a child is the mark of the greatness of the parents.
And to think you were excited for me when I was accepted to medical school. To think that you expected me to hold a surgical knife and cut human bodies, knowing what you did to Abirie. And to think that you expected me to breathe life into people's hearts, knowing that life was taken out of my sister, my twin sister.
We were in a tight spot.
No.
No.
You don't get the luxury of making excuses. You don't get the kindness to explain away your dark, twisted actions. Because nothing, absolutely no situation justifies what you and Father did.
It was pure evil.
And Father obviously was remorseful enough to take his own life. But
you went on like nothing happened. So today, you get to sit here and feel it.
Abirie's ghost stretches out her arms to Kato, who takes her arms and draws closer to her. A still scarred Titi runs to Uncle Kiwa, who takes her. If there is one thing we can learn from Kato, it is that hard work does pay. Just like his late father, may his soul rest in peace. Kato is a hard-working young man, smart and full of integrity. You will not find him getting drunk like most of us.
We could have both been surgeons. Me, an obstetric surgeon, my brother, a cardiovascular surgeon.
Yes, We are here to celebrate not only the returning home from Buleya,
Or fisheries inspector, or whatever else we wanted to be.
but the medical degree of our very own young man, Kato Moses, a cardiothoracic surgeon who can tell how important it is by how heavy it feels on your tongue.
We could have made this family proud.
Kato took his father's example, whom we all know was a very hardworking man, the kind of hard work that turns Ntaladugu of only 4 million Ugandan shillings into 4 billion, 4 miserable million Ugandan shillings.
We could have found another way. We could have survived then to thrive now.
Like his father, Kato went to a faraway foreign land, but he did not let that deter him. He returned with a degree in medicine from the Queen's land.
We could have all been something, but now we are nothing.
She lets go of Kato's hand. Kato returns and takes Titi from Uncle Kiwa. And now help me welcome the Kisekkas, no doubt lions of the Lions clan. Come on, I don't hear applause befitting of lions. Hey, let's not get restless. We all know royals move slowly with dignity. Who are more royal than the Lion clan? Kato acknowledges Bibidie's ghost and turns to leave, holding tight onto Titi's hand.
Where are you going?
I don't know. Somewhere not here.
Kato.
Kato and Titi pause without looking back. Uncle Kiwa calls out as Kato and Titi exit out of the house.
Don't do anything rash, son.
Nnalongo and Bibidie's ghosts occupy downstage like a monument, the Kisekka legacy. Bibidie's ghost looking down on Nnalongo, who looks away, too ashamed. Further upstage, Uncle Kiwa looks on at them. Is this the fatherhood legacy he has inherited? The letter M from the word home falls down. Out in the family garden, the guests are getting restless and beginning to overwhelm the MC, who is working hard to keep them calm. Lights out. End of play.
Thank you, everyone. That was a wonderful, wonderful reading, a wonderful performance, and we're very, very happy that you're here with us and listening and watching our this magnificent play on screen. We are running over our time slotted for this play, so I will have just a little message for the people waiting for the next reading. Un mensajito rápido para quienes nos están acompañando ahora en Facebook y están esperando la próxima obra, temporada de Siervos. Estamos muy, muy pronto con ustedes, así que no se vayan. So thank you, everyone. We're going to have a very short conversation. I would like inviting you all to send your love and your support. Please go to the link that I share on the chat here on Zoom so you can join the conversation that will continue on Facebook. But let's welcome everyone here today. Let's welcome first the director of today's reading, Raz Golden. Raz, congratulations. Thank you. Now, let's welcome the amazing, amazing cast. First, Patrice Johnson, Brian D. Coates, then Eva McCoy, then Charles J. Oda. Congratulations. Then Kyra Player. Hello. And finally, Kevis Hillocks. Hello. All right, finally, let's welcome the playwright, Adong Judith. Congratulations, Adong. And I will ask everyone. I'm just gonna ask one short question to Adong, and then we'll continue the conversation about this play on Facebook. So Adong, also you can join Facebook, and people will ask you your questions, and you can share your thoughts with them. That would be amazing. Any love? There's a lot of reactions here on Zoom. People loving it, and on Facebook as well. So let's continue the conversation there. But first of all, Adong, how are you? How you feel today?
Hi, Guillermo. I'm overwhelmed. I'm grateful. Thank you so much, actors. Thank you.
Well,
The amazing directions.
yeah, it was an amazing experience, and it was great and lovely to see your play. That is a magnificent text being performed today, and that's a new dimension to the play. I think my question for you, and then we can continue on Facebook, is tell us about your experience in Cimientos. How did this play come to the program, and how that evolved to what we have now?
So this play came to me in 2013, end of the year 2013, when I'd come home for the Christmas holidays. At the time, I was in film school at Temple University in the US. And I found this play when I was actually escaping myself, escaping my experience in the US. And I'm not a radio person, but in that trying to escape the shocking experience that I'd had, I became a radio person, and I was listening to radio just as a defense mechanism and telling everybody who was so excited because I was just come back from America and wanted to talk about America, and I didn't want to talk about America. And I was like, I'm busy listening to radio, so I don't want to talk to anyone. And then this news story comes up on radio about a man who had just been arrested because he went to the River Karuma Construction Center where they were building the hydroelectric power, and offered to give his son to be sacrificed at the plant if they would pay him 40 million Ugandan shillings, because he had heard that they were going through a lot of accidents because there's a sacrifice had not been made to the ancestral spirits to protect them, because the practice of child sacrifice is done in Uganda for different reasons. It can be for wealth or for protection by the spirits. And so I had had so many other stories about child sacrifice in Uganda, but this story sort of brought everything together. And I didn't want it to just be about child sacrifice or the girl child sacrifice. I wanted it to be about layers of sacrifice of the girl, the woman, the mother, the daughter, and the female body, and just cover all that. So when Vavire actually talks about how she's buried, with every concrete she's buried. So for me, that's like a powerful metaphor of how the woman body is buried with every sacrifice and secrets, and all for the uplifting of the boy child, the father, the mother, the father, the husband, and the male body.
Perfect. Well, Adong, congratulations. It's been an amazing experience for me and for everyone in IATI to get to know you, to get to see your text, to work with you during this program. We're very proud that you're with us, and you know that IATI theater doors are open for you forever. So whenever you are able and come to New York, please let us know, because we wanna meet with you, and we just like we wanna welcome you home. So this is your home now. I see a lot of reactions here on Zoom. I will ask everyone, let's continue this conversation on Facebook. I think that there is a lot of things to unpack from this play. Please don't leave. And let's go on Facebook. And also we'll open the next reading for our last and also amazing text from Mexico. Adong, thank you very much. Thank you, Raz, and thank you, the magnificent cast. It's been amazing to see you all today. Thank you, Adong.
Thank you too. Thank you, Guillermo. Thank you for IATI Theatre. Thank you for giving me a home for this powerful creation.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Bye, everyone, and let's continue on Facebook. Don't leave. Adios. Bye-bye.